a pretty solid pick. I didn't get a chance to say it, of course, but I figured Undying would get picked in this series here because FireDota, amongst the reputation of teams right now, they kind of play like a cheesy style, and Undying is just one of those lane dominators that kind of equate or define that cheesy style where you just try to snowball the lanes and don't have too many stuns or don't have too much of a standard game plan in the mid game, but just try to roll the enemy over.
Now, Ritsu, talking about building on that kind of cheesy style, FireDota did something really weird, interesting, I don't know, in their first game against Digital Chaos last night, where they played an off-lane Slardar with a Techies paired up. Did you get a chance to see that, and what'd you think?
Yeah, I know. I think off-lane Slardar is actually not bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like his ult's really good, and his stun's really good too. Like, the AoE is like RP AoE. Mm-hmm. And it lets you Rosh and stuff too.
Yeah. So it could be really valuable being on dire side specifically. And I guess you're right. When you're running like Slardar as a one position, you pretty much always have, when I say one position though, I really just mean safe lane, right? Because whenever you're running that Slardar, you're very often running something like an SF or something that carries a little bit better than the Slardar because he's just not that valuable, right, as a carry. But his skill set, I guess you're right, if you have that amplified damage as an offlaner, I guess it can be pretty valuable. Just the question of whether or not making the laning phase really works. Claire, do you agree with Ritzy? You think offlane Slardar has some viability?
Actually, I wanted to play for some time for my team as well. Unfortunately, it can't be the case right now anymore. But the hero is definitely viable. I think right now, like I mean, ever since last patch, what happened is these strength heroes, they have like no mana costs. With Slardar, you know, Sprint used to have a mana cost, and I believe it was like shorter durations or longer cooldowns, that kind of thing. Now it's like a flat 20-second uptime and then 8-second downtime because of the cooldown. So you're basically moving throughout the majority of the game at like 522 ms, like haste movement speed. Yeah. And as Ritsu mentioned, you know, that stun is just, it's almost instantaneous, and it does physical damage, which is also a plus, considering that his whole kit offers a burst to physical damage, like his amplified damage also, if you can get it by before the stun. But more importantly, it's so spammable. I think like at max is like 9 or 8-second cooldown. It's just really good.
All right, Darks, you're now picked up for Complexity. We also saw a number of bans. The Clinks was a notable one. Complexity actually picking up quite a bit. I feel like it really fits his playstyle. That kind of sort of solo split pusher. I feel like he's best run when he's like, for me, when I look at him, I just think Nagasarm, you know? Like the carry Nagasarm, which we don't see anymore in this patch, but I remember him like used to run all the time. And I really felt like that kind of play style is really what fits him best. Complexity as a whole have actually felt like they've been bringing a lot of discipline. I don't want to call it passivity because that almost sounds like a little bit negative, but I feel like they haven't really been playing much of a very aggressive game. That they're much more disciplined, objective focused, and kind of split push oriented. Do you agree with that, Claire?
Oh, from my experiences, I absolutely agree. I think from all the teams that we've faced so far, I don't think we've seen a team that applies pressure in the same way that Complexity does. I feel like they're pretty much the most unified roster in the North American scene, and I would say by quite a stretch, because I don't know, just the basis of their cores between Swindle, Zfrick, and ZZ. They've already played for a long time together. They've been to TI together. The Swindle and Zfrick, I believe, are brothers, and they just, you know, they have this chemistry going. And when they assumed this new roster with Way2 and Mikey J. White, they immediately, I believe they immediately called them over to the team house, and they knew that failure was not an option. So they're really putting their heads together and making it work, and making ends meet.
Now, Ritsu, what about you? What has been your experience with Complexity so far?
I think they have like one of the best early game teams in North America. They usually just always win their lanes or whatever, like rotations, or they just dual lane the off lane. And I don't know, they usually win the lanes, but what they're weak is like the mid game, I think.
What about the mid game? Is it the team fights that it comes down to, or what is it?
Well, they all pick really good team fight heroes, but sometimes they just do misplays and get heroes picked off.
Yeah. Rubik and now an Ember Spirit for Fire. and a Naga Siren for Complexity. And I'm presuming this is going to be way too sexy's kind of 4-position Naga Siren that we're seeing.
Most likely, yeah. Carry Naga is kind of like a fable at this point.
Yeah,
it's you can't find the space for yourself. A lot of these heroes, like the hard carry split pushers that Ritsu is actually so well known for, such as Anti-Mage, they have the ability to find space for themselves at some point in the game. Not early, of course, and depending on the laning phase, it really does become tough for most carries, but you have to be able to get around and just figure out what to do, whether you want to fight or something. And Naga, when you invest in becoming a carry, you can't spend literally 4,000 of your first little gold to build yourself stronger or anything like that. So you can't engage in fights. All you have is a three minute cooldown escape tool that pretty much guarantees your survival every 3 minutes again, and it's not enough these days. Not especially against the pressure coming out of FireDota with the Undying, Ember Spirit, TA. These are heroes that, even though they will kick in the mid game, they put a lot of pressure early as well, depending on the laning phase. Yeah,
I really like the way you broke that down. The safe lane carries essentially the greediest you're ever really going to get with your safe lane carries most of the time is like Anti-Mage, right? Where you pick up a Battle Fury and like, okay, then you're able to make this space yourself. All the other carries you're looking at come online, rather early. That gyrocopters, like the be-all end-all, right? Of this meta where you pick up, some early stat items and you go do battle as much as possible, and you just try and win that, early to mid game, or you potentially create the Helmet Dominator and be able to again create some extra space for yourself by stacking up Ancients, which no one else is usually going to farm. Anyway, Complexity now going for the Shadow Fiend, not terribly surprising since we are Radiant side. This does also give us a bit of synergy. We have the minus armor duo, and this now puts Lina as a sort of, I'm guessing, 5 position, or Ritsu, who's really going to be taking more farm out of the Naga Siren and Lina. Who do you really value more?
I think the Lina takes it more. It's good to get the Yules. And it's also because Lina's like the only catch for the Ember Spirit right now. So you want the Yules on Lina or something.
Okay.
It's going to be hard, though, to combo the Ember even with that, because depending on the direction the Ember Spirit's facing, he can remnant out of the combo unless you do it like absolutely perfectly, and I don't believe it actually happens very often where you do a perfect stun.
Yeah, you're right. That was one of the bigger buffs to Templar Assassin, that Blink Dagger change. Or reflection.
Yeah. Both TA and Ember, they have the ability to escape it. coL's lineup, though, they do specialize in, again, forcing out the lanes. Even against an Undying, they've somehow found a way to maintain really, really strong presence in the lanes. And just overall how they draft, how Swindle drafts, it's quite good in my head, because a lot of times their mid game is just really, really powerful. And honestly, this game I don't feel the same impact that I felt either against them or as I have seen them previously. But I'm sure he has something in mind with the 5th pick. I like Fire's draft so far.
Clockwork now, so we've got... Is there... I mean, there's got to be some sort of aggression coming out from this Undying. Do you actually go full aggro tri? Because I was expecting maybe something a little bit greedier or something that would work with an aggro tri-lane. Perhaps a bit better. I've only seen Clockwork in an aggro tri like 2 or 3 times in my life.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to work. I think if they aggro try, the Darkseer is just going to destroy their safe lane. I think it's too much of a risk right now, especially with heroes like DS and Naga, and Undying too, to an extent. Like, what they do in this patch is like they offer these dual lanes to have the ability to combat a tri-lane. And I think they're going to try to exploit that as well. Just run some sort of dual lanes. Fluff and stuff, he's known to just run around with his Rubik. And there it is, the Complexity exploit pick. That hero is really good against every hero on FireDota right now, even TA. Wow, that might be the pick.
The 5th pick Huskars, man. I don't know. Bugs me so much.
It's just dirty, man. Yeah, it's dirty.
It is. It's really dirty. It's like the 5th pick Broodmothers. Ritsu, what do you think? Huskar, I mean, they do at least have that physical damage out from the Templar Assassins, so they can threaten the Huskar a bit, but it seems like the Huskar is going to be very powerful here, given how much magic damage is on the side of Fire.
Yeah, and then the Naga is going to get like a Solar Crest or something put out on the Huskar.
No.
So what do you think about this pick, man? This crazy stuff, right? Huskar pickers.
10 seconds.
I lost to this yesterday.
Okay, alright. So, should be just defensive tri lane on both sides. Then I actually want to go back to the Undying. Claire, do you really think that that the Undying picked up so early is actually valuable if you're not running something aggressive?
To be honest, I'm not sure if Fire had like a direction with that pick. I feel like they kind of set up the first two picks for themselves, saying like, okay, they're gonna first pick Lina. We'll just take Undying TA because both heroes are pretty good against the Lina. And then what happened is it got like the C-Deck Leshrac treatment in game 1 with EG. It's like, okay, you have all these Leshrac counters. We're just gonna support it, kind of thing. Yeah. And this is what's happening with the Lina. I don't know if it's a great support this game personally, but again, Huskar and Darkseer in their lanes will remedy all these problems they have. And if the SF gets farmed, which he will probably with a Naga just stacking the woods, it's going to be pretty strong against the Undying overall. I'm not too sure what objective this Undying has, but yesterday I kind of doubted the pick as well, and it worked out for them, so we'll have to see how it pans out.
30 seconds to
all right, so it looks like you're right. Way 2 is going to be playing the Lina, by the way, so much likely we're going to have a 4-position Lina. And Z-Freak, it's your plan of Naga Siren in the early game. What really do you look for objectively as a support? What is your job for the first 10 minutes?
I think he's going to be top. He's just going to try to mess with the tri-lane and protect Darkseer.
That's been quite popular, running dual lanes with the Darkseer. And we're going to see a bit
this fight, though.
Yeah, they are going to be a nice stun out from Way 2. We're going to try lead this one. The Darkseer with the Iron Shell.
Oh, nice. Man, he got him.
Up on the cliff, though. Z-Freak is stuck up there, and he's just going to be left to the mercy of, I'm presuming, Fluff, who's going to slowly right-click him down.
It's been a while since I've seen that, actually. I still don't know which part you can do it on, which part you can. It's just something that you have to practice, I think. But the nice thing for Fire out of this exchange is that Swindle had to commit like 3 raises, so he only has mana for 1 raise. But Way 2 has realized that and is coming in for some assistance to give Swindle an easier time.
So our middle lane is going to be, Susie's going to be playing the Templar Assassin, also known as 747, who's going to be up against Swindle's Shadow Fiend. Now, I've heard Blitz talk about this matchup a number of times. I know, Ritsu, you actually practice a lot with Blitz in 1v1s. The TA versus SF, what really goes on here? What's the defining motive for each side?
I think SF wins, though.
Yeah.
It's just, the raises are really strong. You can take off his refraction. It's only like 3 charges, level 1. You just hit him. But TA is like Ancients to fall back on, but SF also has jungle stacks. And most Shadow Fiends go for the Ancient killing build, or whatever, like the HOD. They also can farm Ancients.
Should have probably a bit of a standoff here. I'd be very surprised if we saw a kill one way or the other in the middle lane. Meanwhile, we've got a lot more aggression there at the bottom lane. The Undying Whitebeard is trying to create a lot of space for Mu to play aggressively, but it is going to be up against a Huskar. You can't really go into that too hard, that's for sure.
Did you see what happened with Radiant's Courier? MJW like bought a TP scroll for Z-Freak, but they were just like too scared to bring it there because the Rubik was waiting for it.
Yeah. For Z-Freak. I'm a little bit surprised that they haven't tried to go, like, by now, trying to go for the first blood by putting some vision up there and just right-click him down, but I guess if you can keep him here for the first 3 minutes, it's pretty valuable. Oh, is Huskar in trouble here? Bottom lane, they're going to be able to bring him low naturally just by right-clicking him down. And oh my god, he's actually stuck this up. He's kind of body-blocked him there. And they will be able to pick up their early kill for Clockwork. Rather surprising, but a big pickup. Meanwhile, top lane, Fluff has actually picked up the Invis rune and is trying to wait out MJW, see if he can get a good telekinesis, and they can potentially go for the kill here. Yep, pull him back, be able to get the chains, and should be able to do a lot of damage, but is it really enough to get MJW dead? Doesn't look like it. Search, and that Stout Shield does protect him quite a bit.
Yeah, not the easiest kill in the world, Darkseer. He was already well positioned because we had the ward and Z-Freak just scouting out the Invis rune from when it was picked up anyway. And now he's finally going to be able to TP.
Now have a Naga Siren back in the game. The game is no longer 4 versus 5. Our middle lane matchup, 11-2 on the SF. Got the Templar Assassin in 17-7, but just the early game. We're about to hit the SF to the point where he gets level 5, so he'll just start double raising down creep waves and stack for himself. So even with slight CS advantage to the Templar Assassin so far, SF should always be able to make a recovery.
I gotta say, just watching this matchup, Susie's playing this really well. He's hitting a lot of side blades that I'm not too sure if should actually connect. But I think Swindle was slightly hindered as well because the courier movement, they really wanted to get the TP over to Z-Freak, and as I say that, Ziz dies again, and all of these kills will definitely accumulate because even though Huskar's a pretty strong counter pick against Fire this game, if he doesn't have a good start, that hero really has a difficult time farming. So this is really good.
I was watching that. The early Undying has just been able to do so much work that Decay, constantly bringing Huskar a little bit lower than he'd like to be. Middle lane, Swindle is going to go down here. A hasted Rubik makes it pretty easy for Susie to pick up the kill. So again, this twice now the runes have benefited Bluff quite heavily.
Wow, this is going really well for Fire. What do you think, Ritsu?
Yeah, they got the early game. I think it's just the cliffing the Naga.
Have you ever been cliffed like that before?
I don't think so.
I have.
In this case, should the Naga Siren be helping out the bottom lane a little bit more? Because we're seeing so much aggression out from that Undying, or would she really not be that helpful?
Again, like, their support duels, like, it's kind of really greedy if you think about it. To be honest, I don't know what they do against the Undying here. If the Undying just keeps applying pressure to this low-level Huskar when he's weakest like this, then Clockwork might be able to actually run down heroes like Lina and Naga so long as they're out of position. But I do think generally he wants some presence. He wants some presence where he can actually do something. And in top lane, with Jo cracking level 6 just now, he's not going to do anything against the Ember Spirit with Remnant. So, yeah, in terms of a follow-up, just stay around mid and bottom, really. Just get vision and do your best.
Yeah, let's say you play against Huskar, like, you need a free lane with that hero. Like, if you don't get a fast arm lane, it's really underwhelming.
He's just so good at zoning out solo offlaners that it kind of gives you even more incentive, right? Put pressure on him early, plus you're making sure that you're not leaving just one hero alone to tank those burning zeros constantly.
Oh, wow. Did you see that ward denied by Whitebeard? They just killed the ward as it was about to expire. I think it was like 3 seconds left or something. So, I'm not sure if that's really worth or not, but 350 gold, why not?
Worse is when you lay it down and then it dies. Oh no! Our Huskar's going to be picked up and run back right to the Cogs with the Tombstone sitting there. Huskar is definitely dead. In fact, Z-Freak, he's got to be a little bit careful here. He's going to go for the kill on Tamu. They will be able to pick up that one. Z-Freak, though, he's dropping low. Same goes
this Tombstone.
His surge is not going to last long enough for him to get out of there. He's going to fall. Z-Freak is also going to go down here in Complexity. You're just falling apart here in their defensive lane as it just all goes down. Double kill for Whitebeard. 1-6 now. It's Complexity. Finally get themselves a kill, but it's not worth it.
This is a max decay Undying. What do you think about this, Ritsu?
I don't know. I think Max Tombstone is better.
Do you think
well, when you get levels like this, though, yeah, I can't really complain. Yeah. I do think Decay, the specialty of it at lower levels is it's for 70 mana cost, stealing 4 strength is really big. Of course, when you max it, it's really for the cooldown. But the mana cost is really, really steep for Undying. Like at level 4, it's going to be 130. And I believe Whitebeard goes Treads. Yeah, he actually just bought the Treads already. He buys Treads on his Undying, so I'm wondering if he's going to be mana starved at some points.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was going to ask you, should he have gone for the Arcane Boots, which we typically see on most kind of like 4 positions like this. The Arcane Boots and mech, eventually Guardian Greaves come out in all due time.
Yeah, he did it yesterday too. I mean, the thing with early pressure with Undying is he's really good at diving towers, not only for the Tombstone presence with towers kind of like hitting zombies sometimes, but also when you decay once or twice, like you have this extra surge of HP that cannot be combated early. So I get the idea with the Treads. I just don't know if Mana Boots is actually inferior to it. I believe Mana Boots is better in general, but it works for him, so do you.
Back to a normal 303 build now as he hits level 6. He's going to skip past the Flesh Golem, not really surprising. Huskar is just being zoned out of his lane completely. He's hiding in the trees right now as the Clockwork is going to take up the creep wave. That way they can push down this tower a bit faster, especially with the Siege Wagon that they have out. Whitebeard not seeing anybody from the Radiant side in that bottom lane. It's actually going to rotate over middle. The help of Fluff and Stuff's Rubik. They can't get a kill here, but they do know that Fluff is right there and might be able to catch up to him. The ensnare barely goes out, and now Swindle should be able to combo it quite easily. Free kill for Complexity thanks to their defensive River Ward.
That was a well-needed kill. Almost 300 gold for the Lina, and most importantly, he's free up some map space, knowing that the Rubik is down. So, and heroes like Undying and Clock, they're showing themselves on the map, so they're not really fearful of anything. Way 2 looks like he's just going to be content stacking, and huge stack in the woods here, about to be a 4 stack, I believe. So, Swindle's going to be very happy about that.
You share this, the experience-wise, with the Lina at all to try and get that level 6 a bit faster?
Yeah. I think they have to. As much as I feel like it's urgent for them to get Swindle as big as possible, because he's kind of their, I guess, comeback hero for this game, for him to be able to just mow down towers with extra farm. They also, like, again, they have these 2 super greedy supports on Lina and Naga, and they really need levels ASAP to fight what Fire's been throwing at them so far.
Yeah. Now, Ritsu, if you're in this position as a Huskar, what do you really do? Do you start doing a little bit of jungling? Do you head up to the top lane and just try and find some space elsewhere? Like, what's the game plan when you're this far behind?
I honestly don't know. You have to like make sure the Sierra gets items. I would just try to find farm somewhere, I guess.
Would you buy a Tranquil Boots?
I don't think Tranquil's is good on the hero. You have to like farm it. I don't think Tranquil's is good.
What do you think he's going to do with the Ring of Protection then?
I mean, he's going to make Tranquils. He did that in all of his games, I think. I just don't think it's very good. Because it gives you armor, and every other item you make also gives you armor.
Middle lane, they did manage to get a quick pick off on the SF, and they may actually get a turnaround kill. No, never mind. Z-Freak's going to be tossed back by Fluff. They're going to try and chase him down, but the ensnare's not up for another 3 seconds. Fluff is going to try and juke it around here, but by now he knows he's dead. He's just buying some space.
Yeah, it would have been nice if he was able to walk into the neutrals or something, but it's a little too late, a little too slow. I want to point out though, not only is Moo having a really good game, but 10-minute blade mill on Clockwork, that's like it's a scenario I believe like every Clock is extremely satisfied with, because the way this hero farms after the laning phase, it's kind of very awkward. Clockwork specializes in camping its cores and then just like turning an initiation with a hook shot kind of thing. It's no longer the hero that just goes in first and starts the fight. But with Blade Mail you can do that, and Ziz is dead.
Double damage. A double damage Ember Spirit. Just can't find anything. He goes up to the top lane, has 30 seconds of farm, and then immediately gets shut down. And with that Blade Mail, I mean, you're talking about how good that feels on a Clockwork. It's even better when you're up against that Huskar, right? The pure damage reflecting back onto the Huskar. You don't have to worry so much about that magic immunity he almost has.
Yeah, it's honestly an immediate solution that's available to like most of their heroes. You know, SF can't really do much against Clock until BKB. But speaking of Lina or Naga that's kind of sitting behind, or even Darkseer that's shelled, you know they're gonna pretty much kill themselves when they're trying to battle the Clockwork, especially against the Battery Assault as well. And again, adds on to the pressure that they've been building up. But I have to say, you can tell he's extremely desperate. I mean, where he died just now, it's like very, very deep into the enemy territory. And if you just go to Radiant Vision, they have absolutely no vision in the enemy woods area or top. So he has to be wary of the Ember, who's way ahead of him right now.
Yeah.
I think Complexity, they just gave up on the Huskar. They're just gonna get Shadow Fiend and Darkseer pick.
Yeah, he's going to be a kind of like initiator. He just runs in, draws attention to himself, and hopefully they buy enough space for SF.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen Huskar shut down this badly. Like, how I see this hero is, even if you get contested on the safe lane, you can always fight back to an extent. Like a Clockwork, for example, before level 6 or without Undying, he can easily kill a Clockwork after he dies once or twice. This game, it's not possible. He's sitting at 0-4. He's actually 2k net worth at 12 minutes. This is a degree of shutdown that I've never seen before on a Huskar, and I gotta give props to Fire. They're just doing a really, really good job just taking over the map.
Yeah, certainly the aggression of the Undying. The early Undying pick certainly worked out for them. The dual lane of the Clockwork and this Zombie Man. They do so much work. Complexity actually go for a smoke now, though I'm not sure what exactly the game plan is. They could try and sneak in an early Roshan at some point in time. They do have the Huskar. Do have the SF's early physical damage, but it doesn't look like that's the case. They're going to back up Swindle here and see if Fire don't try and jump him somehow while he tries to go for that tier 1 tower, but Fire are not really taking the bait. They're playing pretty safe.
He's got a 13-minute Desolator. they're gonna kill Roshan very soon. I'm pretty sure he's already level 11 as well. It's only 2 points in meld, but with the Desolator, the Roshan will melt for sure. And if they want to contest the Roshan at all, even with Naga 6, which I believe they have, yeah, the high ground Tombstone will just destroy them. So their options are quite limited right now. And coL, they just have to get the best out of their woods and their lane at the moment.
Fire has done this before. Kind of put everything on the back of Suzy as Templar Assassin. Really one of the more impressive that I've seen.
Yeah, he's very good on Queen of Pain and TA.
He's the next Dragon Fist.
Pardon me?
He's the next Dragon Fist.
Yes. The Templar
they're gonna get
Assassin.
Roche though, and I think they're gonna try to take mid tower next. I don't think there's any way they defend against what Fire have. And Clockwork's really rich.
Yeah. It's weird with Clockwork, honestly. Like, you look at the hero and he's just like, oh, 14 minute, he has a Blade Mill. And it really doesn't seem like he has much, but Tranquil Boots alone being 1k gold and Magic Wand toss on another 450, and yeah, with Blade Mill and net worth that he has in his inventory. I mean, Clockwork's usually set when they have a 4-staff and Blade Mill, and that's usually about 6-7k net worth. So Clock, considering the game, it's pretty well farmed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, are they gonna get him?
Down.
I don't think so.
Tombstone? No, Whitebeard. I think he realized the SF was just
Radiant's top
a
tower
bit
has
too
fallen.
far out there for him to
Yeah.
be able to really get a good Tombstone catch. But they're going to fight this one, it looks like. The telekinesis pull back there as 747 moves forward. Suzy's going to try and pop this Starks. They're just in 3 shots. That's all it takes. Now he's going to go on to way 2 shot there. And now the song comes out, but it's just a bit too late. Z-Freak, he knows this is disastrous. He's going to try and get away. Oh my god, Moo. He got blocked out by the zombie. His hookshot just barely misses there, but still. 2 free kills there for Fire right after they just took the Roshan. And they've got all the lanes pushing forward now. I'm sure they're very easily going to be able to take this tier 1 middle and probably tier 2, tier 3.
Huskar's that top.
Oh, I think Swindle? Yeah, you know what? I was just about to say, I think Clockwork's going to be sad that he missed his hook here, because if he had the hook, he would have just walked into the neutrals and found the SF here. They might still get him anyway, but no, they won't.
A little bit more trap, but Ensnare will catch him. Now the Light Strike Array, they're going to see if they can combo down the Templar Assassin and take away that Aegis, but it's not even close. And Jayo now comes to the side. He stalls up Swindle enough. They're going to go for the kill. The vacuum pulls it back in. Jayo bumps in and will be able to get the kill with 1 right click left. Suzy, oh my god, the refraction! Oh, he gets it off just before the Laguna Blade lands, and now he's actually going to be able to escape. Same goes to Jayo. A Remnant's right over the cliff, and the TP's in. They're not going to be able to catch Jayo in time. Z-Freak, Ensnare? No. Actually a bit surprised he had the vision, but
yeah, me too, honestly. Like, what happened? Is it the tower? Oh, the tower, daytime tower sees that far, yeah. And the trees were cut too, so that might have something to do with it as well.
Yeah, I immediately looked for this ward right here, and I was just like, no, that's not there, but I guess daytime tower, as you said, so much work. They don't even have the mech yet on Swindlemons. They're trying to put so much on him, but he's right now behind the Clockwork in farm, who's currently trying to build up Force Death. And we also have a second Blade Mail now for Whitebeard. So the targets that Huskar can actually go for. Middle lane, Swindle. Oh, Jesus, another shot. 1 more, 11 HP, that's all that's left. Now Suzy's in this awkward position. They will
they got him.
Ryan comes in for the side, will be able to pick him up, and they take away the Aegis, but Way2's not going to be happy with that. It's only an Aegis, and now he's probably going to die for it. Jayo has already stalled up some of these heroes. Light Strike Array will continue to keep him in place, but Suzy one-shots the Lina. They're going to be able to catch Z-Freak as well. Dominating streak for Jayo, and Suzy not far behind him. Going to turn for that tier 1 tower now with the Desolator. He's got Blink Dagger and another 1100 gold on top of that.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Ritsu, what do you make of everything that's happened so far, man? Because I'm really interested in your opinion and your voice.
Oh my god. I think Fire just won all their lanes. And it's all because of the Naga getting cliffed, I think. If the Naga wasn't cliffed, then I don't think Rubik can roam mid like he did.
Then they would have had that constant pressure at the top lane with the Darkseer and Naga Siren, and
see, I don't know. I think Naga getting clipped is certainly a big deal. Any hero that's out of the game for 3 minutes and makes it a power play from the very beginning stages of the game is obviously going to hinder you. But I'm not sure if that's all there is. I really feel like honestly their cores, I mean their heroes just in general are extremely greedy. I thought what they were going to do with the Lina is put it on Mikey J White like they did yesterday, and then they can have a really powerful dual lane in the off lane because Lina has 670 range, and you just pick like a bruiser type of hero like Spirit Breaker or Tusk, which was banned, and what you do is you just kind of run at them and kind of exchange hits with them, and you will come out ahead because your heroes are better. But no, they decided to give Lina the support position, 5 position with no setup stun. I mean, you can argue that Naga Net is kind of a setup stun, but that hero needs a lot of levels to kick in, and unfortunately, Fire gave them no time of day to get their levels up, so...
And a game of chicken here in the top lane. Moo keeps threatening to go for that hookshot. Now he's certainly going to go for it. Right on a Swindle. Couldn't quite get the cogs in time. They're going to try and set up some sort of ultimate here from Swindle, but
oh, they have to
bad
run.
idea. That Moo's got a blade mail. You really don't want to go for him. Oh, bad idea all around. Swindle's going to try and back out. No surge for MJW. Now he lets loose the ultimate, but he can't even get it off. Jail stops him. GG. Swindle knows this is all over. They had to get some sort of fight there with the Naga Siren SF combo, but at the same time, SF would have instantly killed himself on a blade mail, so bad idea all around. Complexity. I mean, at least you can say, well, there wasn't much to say about game 1 for Complexity. I mean, they kind of lost it, maybe a little bit in the draft, maybe a little bit with the Cliff situation with the Naga Siren, but either way, game 1 was just a disaster. Game 2, different draft, different lanes, should look a lot better.